Hello and welcome to Good Life, the health show with me, Pooja. Well, viewers, a growing number of studies suggest many COVID-19 survivors experience some type of heart damage or some disorders, even if they did not have underlying heart disease. And we are not sick enough to be hospitalized, and these are some of the crucial things we are going to discuss today. And this latest twist has healthcare experts' potential increase in heart failure. So to discuss on this, we are being joined by Dr. Rituparna Borua, cardiologist from Apollo Hospital. So not to waste any more time, I'll straight away move to him and talk more on the topic which we have taken today. So thank you so much, Doctor, for joining to Good Life, the health show. So today the topic of which we are taking is that it is seen that the ones who are already infected with heart diseases, having some kind of heart disorder, and the person, if he or she is detected with COVID-19. So what COVID-19 is doing to the heart even after recovery. So you must be going through some of the cases as well. So what is your take on this?
First of all, good afternoon to everybody and Pooja also. And thank you for inviting me for this show. And the questions you asking me is very pertinent. And nowadays we have been seeing cardiac patients who presenting to our OPD or in emergency with a heart attack. And so we take utmost care to give all the medications. Actually, our aim is to continue the medication if the patient is having existing cardiac disease. And then if the patient develops some myocardial infarction that we commonly call a heart attack, so we give certain medication, and we mostly resort to, or we want to give thrombolytics. So thrombolytic means those medications that can lyse the clot, and this is very important. So once the discussion progresses, they will be knowing more and more about it.
Absolutely. So if these kind of situation arises to you, so how do you tackle heart diseases, especially in COVID patient we are talking today?
We have been seeing varieties of cases, and most importantly the heart attack patients, because as you know that COVID infection can induce clot inside the arteries, inside the veins, and that actually can precipitate certain cardiac diseases, and most dangerous among them is the heart attack. And also sometimes this clot forms inside the lung arteries or lung vessels that can cause to pulmonary embolism or clot in the pulmonary circulation. And another important is that we see a lot of patients with abnormal heartbeat. Sometimes the heartbeat become very slow, sometimes it's very fast. And you know, one of the commonest disorders of rhythm, so that means the heartbeat related problem. So we call it atrial fibrillation, where the heartbeat become very chaotic, and the rhythm is become irregular, and the beat, the rate becomes very fast, like 140, 150 can go up to 200. Okay. And patient can develop heart failure also. So these are certain situations that we encounter in our practices in the COVID era.
All right. Doctor, we have a caller at this point in time, so let's take the call and then we will proceed with the conversation. Hello?
আপোনালোকৰ অনুষ্ঠানটো চাই মোৰ কুৱেশ্যনটো আছিলে কোভিড হৈ যোৱাৰ পাছত যিকোনো বয়সৰ মানুহৰ যোৱাৰ পাছত লাঞ্চ নহ'লে হাৰ্টৰ কিবা চেকআপ কৰিব দৰকাৰী হয় নেকি যদি একো চিম্পটম নাথাকেও?
কুৱেশ্যনটো ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট হয়। বহুত ক্ষেত্ৰত দেখা যায় যে ক'ভিড হোৱাৰ পিছত কিছুমান কাৰ্ডিয়াক প্ৰব্লেম হয়, যিটো মই অলৰেডি ডিছকাছ কৰা হৈছে যে হাৰ্টবিটটো কেতিয়াবা এবনৰ্মেল হৈ যায়, হাৰ্টবিট বিকাম ফাষ্ট হৈ যায়, হাৰ্টবিট কেতিয়াবা শ্ল' হৈ যায়, এণ্ড কেতিয়াবা গতিকে আমি এখন ECG এখন কৰাটো ইম্পৰ্টেণ্ট, বিকজ ECGখনত আমি হাৰ্টবিটৰ কথাটো গম পাওঁ। বাট most important is that the treatment should be symptoms based. So unnecessary testing should be limited. But I think ECG and certain markers of the cardiac problem like D-dimer or some troponin, so these markers may be required if the patient develops some symptoms like যদি কিছুমানৰ উশাহৰ কষ্ট হয় বা বুকুৰ বিষ হয় বা হাৰ্টবিট palpitation বা হাৰ্টবিটটো যদি বেছি হোৱা যেন অনুভৱ হয় বা মূৰ ঘূৰাই চ' এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ চিমটমছ যদি থাকে তেতিয়াহ'লে বেছিক কাৰ্ডিয়াক টেষ্টিং লাইক ECG, ইক'কাৰ্ডিঅ'গ্ৰাফি এণ্ড চাম ব্লাড পেৰামিটাৰ্ছ আমি কৰাটো এছেঞ্চিয়েল উচিত।
All right, thank you so much for calling at this point in time, viewers. And numbers are flashed on your television screen. So if you have any queries regarding the cardio problem, and we are having a discussion at this point in time with Dr. Rituparna Borwa from Apollo Hospital. So please call up and ask questions, and I'm sure a doctor will be able to give you all the answers. Well, Dr. Rituparna, I would like to ask you that there are a lot of patients we see that who have recovered from COVID-19 and is a heart patient as well. So is it very much necessary? A caller has just asked that, is it very much necessary to have a heart checkup for them? Because these days people are avoiding hospitals as much as possible. They are having consultations online. So who are the patients you suggest them to have a heart checkup or have a consultation with the doctors in person?
Post-COVID follow-up is very important in terms of the cardiac disease, existing cardiac disease, because these are the patients are very sick patients and they can develop cardiac problem or cardiac emergencies at any point of time. So in the post-COVID time, I think it is mandatory or it is very, very essential to check certain things like that we already discussed, that ECG, echocardiography to see the heart pumping. If the patient had history of stent implanted into the arteries or some surgical procedures done like CABG or some valve surgery. So this patient should undergo at least ECG and echocardiography, see the present status of the cardiac condition, and also certain blood parameters like cholesterol, like D-dimer, like troponins. These are cardiac biomarkers actually that already we have been discussed it. Okay. So I think these are very important things to be checked.
All right. Doctor, the role of endoscopy and findings in COVID-19 is also very important. So what do you have to say on this?
First of all, most important is that the patient coming to the emergency department has a heart attack. So there are two types of heart attack. We call it one STEMI, one is NSTEMI. These are scientific terminology. So it means that there are certain condition that is artery completely blocked. But we see the clinical stability of the patient. If the patient clinical condition is stable, means patient is definitely having some chest pain. But if his blood pressure is stable, if the pulse rate is stable, if there is no hemodynamic alteration, or if we do the echocardiography, if the ejection fraction is not much low, ejection fraction, so it is the surrogate for heart pumping, surrogate marker for heart pumping. So if this pumping is not very low and this patient clinically is stable, so in that situation we usually opt for thrombolytic therapy. So what do you mean by thrombolytic therapy? So it is basically an injection we post into the vein, and this actually this injection this molecule targets the clot inside the arteries that getting blocked and that causing heart attack. So and this medicine is very effective, and it goes to the clot and then it lyses the clot, and then it can establish the blood flow in that particular arteries, and thereby can abort the heart attack. So we usually opt for this thrombolytic therapy, and if the patient clinical condition is unstable, patient is having severe pain, blood pressure is not very stable, BP is low, and so in that situation, so we need very rapid revascularations. So in those conditions, actually we take up the patient with utmost care, with all and all the staff inside the cath lab, they used to wear the PPE, and okay, we do the procedures, we call it angioplasty. We do the angiogram and check for the blockage and open up the artery with a stent. So as far as possible, we try to treat the patient with thrombolytic therapy. If the clinical condition is not stable, we need rapid revascularization, rapid opening of the artery. In that situation, we go for angioplasty.
All right. Doctor, how much time does this entire therapy take place?
Pardon?
The entire therapy has a time frame. So how much time does this entire therapy take place? What is the need of the hour? And what suggestions do you give to the patient's attendant at that point in time?
Yeah, important is that the time is muscle. So if we delay, So there is a significant amount of heart muscle can be damaged. So in that situation, so it is a kind of do or die situation. So you have to act very fast. You have to be very proactive, and there are a lot of medias and then FM and then news channels, and they are actually describing so what is heart attack, how dangerous it is, because it is a killer disease. So we must act very fast. We must be proactive. So the attendant should understand the clinical situation, and then we have to be very fast. We try to open up the artery as fast as possible. So it could be a kind of pharmacotherapy using medications, or it could be some kind of mechanical therapy like doing angioplasty, but something has to be done so that the artery open up, so that the patient can survive. So usually the time frame is around half an hour to 45 minutes.
Okay.
So faster is better.
All right, doctor, we'll proceed with the conversation, but we'll have to slip into a short break now. All right, viewers, we'll slip into a short break, but do come back soon because we have lots more on the other side. Welcome back, viewers. You're still watching Good Life, the health show with me, Pooja, and we are having a fruitful discussion on how COVID-19 infected patients or recovered patients' heart is being affected by the disease. All right, Dr. Rituparna, coming to you again. We are having a fruitful discussion. So I would like to ask you that what are the cardiac system abnormalities COVID-19 infection can cause?
Cardiac diseases can be different types, and then that we already discussed that it could be heart failure. So one of the things that we are now discussing is that the heart failure, and heart failure means there is the abnormal pumping, and then heart is unable to pump the blood forward, and it can cause heart failure symptoms, and the patient usually present with dyspnea and unable to lie down, and there will be swelling in the legs, or the lungs could be congested, and then the patient can develop severe orthopnea, severe breathlessness, and then one very fatal condition that can occur is called pulmonary edema. So immediately patient has to be hospitalized, and this another problem is that can arise that we call is a inflammation of the muscles of the heart. So we call it myocarditis. So these are some of the dangerous disease or very fatal disease can occur following COVID infection. So we have to be very careful. If the patient develop this kind of symptoms, they should immediately consult a physician or a cardiologist or any pulmonologist. At least any physicians they should consult, and it is very, very important.
Absolutely. And doctor, there are a lot of confusions and questions is surfacing in everybody's mind, and especially the ones who are infected with heart diseases. If suppose they have to show up or to go up to a doctor to show some other kind of ailments, and they have been prescribed with some medicines, so they are in a dilemma to take those medicines or not, especially the ones which can create some or the other kind of problem for their heart. So in that mode of time, what would you like to suggest them? Do they should ask their cardiologist first that they should take those medicines, or they can immediately start with the procedure?
Wherever to start or to stop the cardiac medicine, you should any patient should consult, or any person should consult his cardiologist or his physician, because the both way it is important, and stopping medicine can be a problematic, or starting a new medicine that can have some interactions with the cardiac medicine. So it is better to consult with the cardiologist regarding this type of issue. And also important is that what I can tell you, that the majority of the medications prescribed for cardiac disorders can be continued, And then if there is any confusion or any dilemma that exists, in that situation, they must consult a physician or a cardiologist regarding this.
And talking about the steroids, which is also the talk of the town nowadays. Now, some medicines prescribed to some of the patients. Steroids are also being prescribed to some of the patients. So, if we talk about these, this is also going to be a problematic figure for the ones who are already infected with heart diseases. So, in that mode of time, as a cardiologist, what would you like to suggest to those patients? Can they take these steroids on time, or they have to wait for some time, or have to show up to any of the cardiologists?
Mostly, majority of the situation, it was seen that the steroid, even at all it is given, so it is given for a short time. But some of the patient might require longer time steroid therapy, and those patients having existing cardiac diseases, so the steroid might delay the healing process of the muscles, cardiac muscles, and if the patient suffering from heart attack. So this kind of, if this situation happens or occurs, so this must be discussed with in depth with details with the physicians, or having a discussion with all the consultant cardiologists and pulmonologists together, or the medicine practitioner or the physician. So how long we can actually prescribe this steroid. So most of the times it is a short course steroid therapy, doesn't have much impact on the cardiac diseases. But if the patient is having ongoing cardiac problem like the myocardial infarction or heart attack, so I think this needs some discussion with sitting all the consultant together.
All right, doctor, we have a caller at this point in time. Let's take the call first. Hello.
Hello.
আমি শুনি আছো, আপোনাৰ প্ৰশ্নটো কৰিব।
মই লখিমপুৰৰ পৰা কৈ আছিলো।
কওকচোন।
মই এই কোভিডৰ ওপৰতে সুধিব বিচাৰিছিলো। কোভিড হোৱাৰ পিছত মানে মোৰ ভিতৰৰ মানে লাংছৰ মানে অলপ কিবা প্ৰব্লেম থাকি গৈছিলে, মানে সেইবিলাকক মানে আকৌ বেলেগে কিবা আকৌ মেডিচিন ইউজ কৰিব লাগিব নেকি?
লাঙৰ প্ৰব্লেমৰ ইউজুৱেলি এটা কণ্ডিশ্যন সেইটো ফাইব্ৰ'চিছ বুলি কয়। চ' লাং ইনফেকশ্যন হোৱাৰ পিছত, ইনফ্লেমেশ্যন হোৱাৰ পিছত তাত কিছুমান ফাইব্ৰ'চিছ জমা হয়, লাংটো ষ্টিফ হৈ যায়, হাওঁফাওঁটো ষ্টিফ হৈ যায়। চ' ইন ডেট কেছ ইফ দি আজিকালি CT স্ক'ৰ দিয়া যায় যে CT স্কেন কৰাৰ পিছত কিমান চিভিয়াৰ, মানে কিমান বেয়াকৈ লাংটো ইনভলভ হৈছে সেইটো গম পোৱা যায়। চ' সেইটোৰ ওপৰত বেছ কৰি পেলাই নেক্সট ট্ৰিটমেণ্টটো হয়। কিন্তু আমি এনেকুৱা ক্ষেত্ৰত আপুনি এজন পালমনলজিষ্ট যোনে লাঙৰ ট্ৰিটমেণ্ট কৰে, তেওঁৰ লগত ডিছকাশ্যন কৰাটো উচিত হ'ব এই বিষয়ে জানিবৰ কাৰণে।
All right, all right. Thank you so much for calling at this point in time. So this is also a very important question indeed, doctor. Lung, because COVID-19's affection goes, it is mostly affected to the lungs, and this is also one kind of like a serious issue which is being seen, and it has been also a question to everybody's mind at this point in time. So then, on that note, what would you like to suggest the ones who are already infected with COVID-19 to how to take care of their lungs?
You mean the lung problem?
Yes, yes.
In that particular questions?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So there are some antifibrotic molecules. So it actually prevents and delays the occurrence of the fibrosis, because fibrosis meaning in common terminology is that there is stiffness in the lung. So the diffusion capacity of the lung decreases, and the carbon dioxide diffusing through the lung capillaries, so it becomes less. So a patient might develop hypoxia. Hypoxia means there is less oxygen in the blood circulation. So this kind of problem can occur, and sometimes we see the clot formation inside the artery. We call it actually pulmonary thrombosis and pulmonary thromboembolism. So these are some of the lung problems that can happen post-COVID condition. And nowadays we have been seeing that the D-dimer, so that is actually a one blood parameter, the one blood testing that can detect the ongoing thrombosis in the lung arteries. And then once the D-dimer levels are high, we usually give some anticoagulants or some blood thinners, and that can actually prevent the further progression of this clot formation inside the artery. And so the blood thinners and some antifibrotic drugs and then oxygen therapy, so these are very important in the post-COVID situation to improve the lung condition.
Absolutely, Doctor. Now, Doctor, if I would like to ask you that yoga has played a very important role in everybody's life at this juncture, in everybody's mode of life. So, what is the role of yoga in curing heart diseases? As a cardiologist, what kind of suggestions you would like to give to our viewers?
Yoga and pranayama, so these things have tremendous impact in terms of the healthy cardiac life, and this is very important because yoga can boost up the immunity and the pranayama can boost up the lung condition. It can improve the lung problem. So the lung diffusion capacity is that oxygen and the carbon dioxide diffusion capacity of the lung can be improved by doing pranayama and yoga. And also it actually improves the tones of the muscles and also improves the oxygenation capacity of the cardiac muscles and the other skeletal muscles, the muscles that in the limbs. So definitely have yoga and pranayama have a tremendous impact on the healthy heart. So we must emphasize and this importance of the yoga and pranayama in the day-to-day life. In the COVID situation, we need to improve or increase the immunity. And so it is a kind of vaccines to our mind and to our body. So I consider yoga and pranayama kind of vaccine, like the COVID vaccine everybody is now taking to our for our healthy life and healthy heart.
All right, so yoga vaccine is also very important to lead a very healthy life, isn't it, doctors? Thank you so much for joining to Good Life, the health show at this point in time. And with this, we have come to the end of the show, viewers, and we hope that we were able to answer all your queries in the best possible way. And in our next episode, we will be discussing more on COVID-related issues. So if you have any queries, do join us next Saturday at 3:30 p.m. live. Till then, stay healthy, stay fit, and keep watching Northeast Live. Goodbye.